This is the Between Brothers podcast, where we bring you real talk, authentic takes, and laughs on sports, pop culture, life. I'm your host, Lando, with my big brother, Zero. Zero, catch us up. How's your week been?
Uh, man, it's been pretty okay. Um, so so my weak muscles rear its ugly head. Thursday I sneezed twice, and now my back is killing me. And it's like what makes this so bad is that the fact that last 2 weeks I've been working out upper lower body splits. It was like, I thought I was hitting a low. Well, that is it's 2 weeks. It's not like I'm just gonna see results in 2 weeks. So I'm like, so I don't expect to just see progress right then and there. But I was like, damn, this is like sneeze twice, and now it's like a searing pain when you roll when you get up. I was like, that's freaking crazy. Um, what's it called? So that was Thursday, Friday. So Friday, I had to come every time I have something to do. It seems like the job puts me on the peninsula, and
Mhm.
my bank. So my bank doesn't have a single branch on the peninsula. So so I had to take both my 15s and my 30-minute lunch to drive from Newport News all the way back to Norfolk and then back up to finish the day. So I let my folks know that was gonna happen. It's seven something, and I text the second to last customer that I have to do, or I text them both. The second one said there are power lines being done on by their property, so they said we could reschedule for another day. The other one, I didn't even respond. Excuse me, I didn't even respond because they said I texted them 7:02. They said, "Are you crazy? You're going to do you talk about treating my stuff at this late hour? You could have just said no, thank you." It's
It's
so
7 o'clock in the summer.
exactly in the summer. Like, it ain't gonna get dark until about maybe around 9 o'clock. He's like, "Are you crazy at this late hour?" And nobody said that you were coming. I hate when they lie because I literally can see that you got texted and that you got an email saying that we were showing up. The only thing that was left was me telling you that I was on my way. And it was like the "are you crazy" part was ridiculous because it's like, what do you mean? Am I crazy that I'm going to show up to do the pest control that you were scheduled for? Like, I wanted so bad to respond in the most assholish way that I could, and I was like, you know what? The moment I respond the way that I want to respond, all of a sudden it's going to become a problem.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I said the best response was no response. No showed it. Gave them the reason as to why. I didn't even tell them that the customer said what they said. I just said, they did not want me to show up. It was too late for them, and they said that they got no confirmation. But ain't no reason for me to have to go any further. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, are you sure? I'll send you the text. It was like, yeah, it was like, I could have did their stuff. I could have did both their things, but one didn't want the power because one wanted me to be safe because of the power line stuff. It was like, I get it. It was like, and they were both down the street from each other. It was like, nah, you being ridiculous. Say, are you crazy? It was like, If it was going to be a problem for me, I would have called you and said, "Hey, it's starting to get late. I think it'll be best for you to reschedule." No, I asked you, "Did you need the interior done?" Like, what are we talking about?
Hmm.
But, but other than that, it's like it's it's just been work, honestly.
Yeah, this week was okay. Um, I had been listening to some podcasts and specifically talking about success. And then I listened to a podcast talking about like politics. And so I went into like this deep dive on like the political landscape and things of that nature. And I know some people who are, Republicans, of course, and Democrats. And Republicans are like, Democrats don't do anything for black people. Um, then I looked up like over the last 100 years, what party has passed most legislature that has benefited black people in a positive way. And the Democrats was like overwhelming. And so I'm like, okay, the people I know that are Republicans, they're fairly intelligent people. So why is it that they're so quick to believe that the Democratic Party is not looking out for black people? Now, I've said this 100 times. I'm a true independent, as true as it can get. And so, it's hey, I vote for my interests and my interests only. Sometimes it's a Republican that's got me in the mood. Sometimes it's a Democrat that's got me in the mood. But then I thought about it and I'm like, they believe a lot of conspiracies. I guess so many things in which uh like you're seeing like these MAGA people just believing every conspiracy theory against everything. And then they get schooled and then they're like, well, I just like Donald Trump. And then I'm like, okay, as a black person, why would you line up with the same political party that known racists align with? So I guess my question would be, to anybody who sees this, like, if you're a Democrat or a Republican, why? And like, why don't you just look at it for what it is and vote that way versus like I'm Democrat, I'm Republican. Like, not like I said, I voted both, so it doesn't matter to me. But not I don't vote. I haven't voted both for the sake of voting for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know some people be like, just so they can feel like they're an independent, they'll vote for a random Democrat just to say that they voted for somebody else. And it's like, but your whole ballot is red or your whole ballot is blue except one person. That's like, so I don't know, man. It's an interesting thing that I would like to know. It's like, okay, what made you line up with the people that publicly hate you? And I'm not saying Republicans publicly hate black people. It's that racists just align with that party. And I think in 1964, like Southern Democrats who were the racists started switching over to the Republican Party. So I'm just curious as to like, you'll tell me, hey, the Ku Klux Klan was started by the Democratic Party, but then not acknowledge that there was a transition from in the 60s from one side to another. So I don't know, man. It was interesting to do all that research, and I'm glad I did it. Got some knowledge, got some facts, got some data to back it up, and it was good learning stuff. But let's get into these topics. So Cam Newton gets on his show, Fourth and One, and he takes shots at people who've been taking shots at him. And the issue that I have, I love Cam Newton. I've said on this podcast, he's one of my five favorite quarterbacks of all time. Met him at Atlanta airport. We spoke very briefly, and I didn't even know it was him the first time I saw him. I saw him twice. He was very young. Shoot, he might have been a rookie or second year player when I saw him. No, he wasn't a rookie. I think he was a second year player, maybe third. But anyways, um, so Ryan Clark goes at him as far as like what his career had turned out to be, and then there's so many people solely because he said Jalen Hurts wasn't in his top 10 as a quarterback. They started talking about the fumble in the Super Bowl and how he didn't jump on the fumble. And I'm like, I hate the people who judge the toughness of an athlete. But Ryan Clark, should he be able to judge the toughness of an athlete? Yeah, he was a defensive player. He put it all on the line. He had a great career for where he came from, like being an undrafted pick and all that stuff. Great career. Made a lot of money. Have a very successful post career, post football career. So good for him. But I don't understand why athletes go at athletes for like personally just because they don't agree with their takes on another athlete. None of which have anything to do with you. So, and then to bring up the fumble thing, I don't think Ryan Clark brought it up specifically. I forget. I'm remembering him because he was the most recent one I saw. But there's like a bunch of guys talking about, oh well, he didn't jump on that fumble. I think Warren Sapp even criticized him for it years ago, a couple years back, and it's just like, I, we watched. Did we not watch the same Cam Newton? Did we not watch the same Cam Newton who used to drag linebackers down the field? You questioning that guy's toughness just because he didn't dive on a ball?
Yep. Just one play defined your entire career.
And he virtually has played hurt since that year.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't understand y'all. Like, why y'all? Because y'all played the game unlike us at a professional level. So why is it that y'all question the toughness of certain guys, but if we questioned your toughness, you're like, oh, well, you don't know because you didn't play. Well, he played. And y'all played. And there's times where y'all took plays off or didn't do everything the right way. Don't say you did. It's impossible. We're humans. It's impossible. So it's like I don't get the personal attacks for someone's take. Like, now you can call him stupid, but saying that, like, oh, you jealous because he won a Super Bowl and you didn't. Like, Cam Newton wasn't legitimately the best player in the league in 2015. Like, that's who we come. Cam. There's nobody on planet Earth who will watch the two of them play football like just blind. You don't no accolades, none of that. You just blindly watch. You watch the two of them play football. They're generic players. They play for the Tiburon Sharks. Shout out to the old Maddens. And you see their builds, you see their skill set, and you're like, I'm picking Jalen Hurts over him, regardless of him winning 2 Super Bowls. And this is where LeBron is correct about ring culture. If you saw these two guys play at the same time and you stripped all their accolades away, who would you pick? And that's why, like, I like for me, Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. Because if I strip them of all their accolades, I'm taking Michael Jordan. I'm not taking LeBron James. LeBron James is a fantastic player. I'm not watching the two of them play and thinking, yeah, that guy's better. And then I have numbers to back it up. So it's just like I don't know. I don't know. You talk to me, Zero. Like, why is that the way that all these guys go when they don't agree with a take? Why don't they attack the take? Why do they attack the messenger?
Because they have nothing. Yeah, they don't. They have nothing to argue against. It's like, so because like when you think about it, you mean to tell me his whole career is a wash because he didn't jump on a fumble? Is that what you're trying to tell me? So nothing that he did prior to or after that means anything because he didn't jump on a fumble. You mean to tell me that because Jalen Hurts, who even though um spoiler, he's 5 on my top 5 quarterback list, just is like Jalen Hurts was you can say arguably the weakest link on that offense because you had top receivers, the best running back in the league, and one of, if not the best offensive line in the league. And it was all Jalen. It's like it was all Jalen. It's like I get it. He won a championship. Cam Newton did it. It's like what's it called? Cam Newton went to a Super Bowl throwing the 2 empty water bottles. It's like, and like the top target was a draft bust. Like literally, your top target was a draft bust, and you need to tell me because he didn't jump on a fumble, that just diminishes everything that he's done. And Jalen Hurts is better than him because of a ring. If you're going to use that logic, if you're going to use that logic, then you might as well just go ahead and say Robert Ory is better than Jordan because he has more rings than Jordan. You might as well. It's like you might as well put all these. Like you might as well just do, just like you said, ring culture. You might as well just do that with everybody then, because you're gonna pick and choose. Because clearly you can't say anything about athleticism. Like like on the field performance, like you can't argue that and say that one is way above the other if you can't go down that route. So of course you're gonna have to bring up the rings. Like you have no other argument. But when you see that Cam on his team was head and shoulders the best player on that squad, and you have to think about it with Jalen Hurts. It's like, and it's his opinion. It's his opinion. If he's not in his top 10, it is what it is. Why are y'all getting sensitive about it? This is the reason why I hate. That's the reason why I normally hate lists to begin with. Is because if your list, y'all making Ari Spears sound right, because Ari Spears just got called a hater because he wasn't a fan of Ice Cube. And everyone called him a hater because he's not a fan of Ice Cube. And it's like he said is his that's just his opinion, and now everybody's calling him a hater because of his opinion. You're proving Ari Spears right. Because Jalen Hurts is not in his top 10, y'all calling him a hater. It's like you can't win for losing. It's like, now if Jalen Hurts was in his top 10 and he's probably like ninth, people are still going to hate it. Why is he only ninth? He should be top 5. If he named him top 5, well, he just won a Super Bowl. How is he not top 2? You're never going to agree with the damn list. Like, take his list for what it is and be done with it.
Yeah.
Because it's his opinion, not y'all's. Like, everybody doesn't have to agree. Some people say Jordan's the greatest. Like, there's people that say Jordan's the greatest of all time. There's folks that say LeBron is stupid.
There's people who don't know anything about basketball.
Like, yeah, there's like folks. It's like you're freaking stupid, but that's just their opinion. It's like, it is what it is. Just take it for what it is and move on, because you're never going to win the argument.
I don't mind people criticizing the list. I don't mind people criticizing any list for that matter, because it's cool to hear other people's opinions as to why or why not they agree with you. So, like, because at the end of this episode, we're going to do a list, and we're probably going to do a few. We're going to do one every week until the season starts.
And I'm going to argue with you about every last one of them.
Yeah, and even if, you know what I'm saying, and even if somebody wanted to argue about like every portion of it, like if they didn't agree with you, like, it's nice to hear other people's opinions, but don't start saying, you know what, you're just a scumbag for thinking that. It's like, what? How did we get here?
Yeah, you are the biggest asshole for not saying that Jalen Hurts is in your top 5. You was a bitch made fool ass punk.
Strange, it's like I remember I mentioned something about Canelo Alvarez in a boxing group, and then they said, "What have you done with your life?" I'm like,
a lot more than you.
I'm like, what does me criticizing his boxing skills have to do with my life accomplishments? And it wasn't even, it's not like it was a new take. It was like Canelo has no footwork. That's been something that's been held against him his entire career. And it's just like, even like, you don't know me, right? So what if, now I'm not, but what if, I look like a random guy on Facebook, but what if I'm a random guy who owns a chain of restaurants and I'm a multimillionaire and you happen to work at that restaurant? Then what? You just, I'm like undercover boss or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've never met me, you don't know what I look like. So it's just like, not saying I would fire that person or whatever. I'm just saying, like, it's just not intelligent to do that. You don't know who I am. You don't know what I've accomplished. You don't know what I've overcome to even get to where I am now. So you saying Just because I said he has sloppy footwork, like, why are you attacking me except for the take? So, that's where I stand on that. Cam Newton, when he broke it down, he was like, all right, we're going to go at careers. Let's go at careers. Ryan Clark, we can't relate. Danny Cannell, we can't relate.
Wait, Danny Cannell has something to say?
Yeah, I think that's who he mentioned.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
I
I'm
know
pretty
Dan
sure that's who he
Orlovsky
mentioned.
was up.
That's what it was. Dan Orlovsky.
I was gonna
Orlovsky.
say if Danny Cannell ain't got no.
I mean, Orlovsky doesn't either.
It's like we remember you for stepping out the back of the end zone.
We remember you for quarterbacking an 0-16 team. Cam Newton's never been on that side of losing. So it's like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But shout out to Cam, man. And I'm glad he did that. I'm glad he checked them the way he did. So changing things up a little bit. Uh Malcolm Jamal Warner, rest in peace. Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace. And Hollywood Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. I was gonna say something else, but God bless the dead.
Yeah, because I know there was plenty of people pissed that Hogan got a tribute.
So I want to lead with the reaction. So the Duchess asked me, like, how did it make me feel? I didn't grow up watching the Cosby Show. And I know he did another show. I don't remember what the show was though. But I didn't necessarily feel anything. But I also didn't feel like my favorite music artist of all time, Michael Jackson. I also didn't feel anything when he passed away. These are people I've never met. I don't think I'm ever going to have a emotional response to any of it. I know people cried when Kobe died, and I'm like, but they, idolized him. None of the people who I truly, I can't even think of anybody I actually idolized. Like I said, my favorite athlete of all time is Floyd Mayweather. I don't know if I have an emotional response if he passes away before I do. But yeah, it's just like it was tragic on how he passed away. I didn't know that. So it was an accidental drowning. He got caught in the riptide. His daughter was also caught in said riptide, and another surfer was caught in the riptide. A surfer who saw what was going on saved his daughter, and the two people, Malcolm Jamal Warner and the other surfer, were both rescued or taken out of the water, performed CPR on the both of them. The surfer lived, and MJ Dub didn't. And when you see things like that, like Kobe's passing, and Malcolm Jamal Warner, his wife could have easily lost two people that day. And it's like you just doing something with your kid.
Yeah.
It's not like he was doing anything malicious. It's not like he was like drinking and driving. Like, and sometimes I'm like, man, like I wonder what. I'm not saying I wish this on this person, but I remember when Errol Spence Jr. got into that car accident, and I'm like, he was being reckless. He was being ridiculous. You saw the crash. Apparently, he was also launched from the car. And the only thing he had was like, only thing he needed was dental work.
Mm.
And Malcolm Jamal Warner doing something that every parent is gonna do with their kid if they can, if they have the ability to do it. And that's swim with it. And he dies because apparently Costa Rica is known for having vicious riptides. And that's the part where when I heard the story, it affected me because Coco Puff is getting swimming lessons now. I don't know how to swim, but I'm like, even if I did know how to swim, which clearly he does, that ocean is something different,
Mm.
and it's scary. And it's like you do everything to try to protect your kids. And I know if he had it anyway, it's save her and not me.
Mm.
But man, that's scary. That's scary stuff. The only thing I knew about Ozzy Osbourne is that he couldn't talk on the Osbournes. Not to disrespect him in any way. I didn't know that he did music until he died. I didn't know he did music until he died. I thought the Osbournes was like the show was about like the music. I think it was like a music group, like a family music group
You think
called
about
the
the
Os.
you think about
Were
the
they the Osbournes?
Osmonds.
See, I didn't even know. I thought they were the same. I thought it was about the kids, but the dad was funny because you could never understand what he was saying.
Not knowing that he
That's
was.
insane. I just found that out just now. So so of course his passing didn't affect me. Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I grew up in was the Attitude Era. They called it.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
nothing about Hulk except the only thing I really knew about him was the racist rants that a couple of racist rants that he did. So, like I said, God bless the dead, but, you know, I don't know what happens to people like him in the afterlife, but I'm assuming I understand, and maybe that's where he is. I don't know. God's the one who judges that, not me. But he was like
Look,
he was all three of them were icons in a way. And but the biggest sucker thing was the family getting upset that people started talking about his racist rants online
mm.
and said it was like inappropriate. So
What was appropriate about when he said it?
zero takeaway.
Like, I wonder if they felt the same way when Kobe passed away and they kept on talking about his grape allegations. But they're not related to Kobe, so why should they care, right?
Yeah,
Um, so like you said, just like you, I didn't grow up watching Malcolm Jamal Warner. I know I seen a few of his scenes on I think it was The Residence. I know he was on that show, and a few scenes of Suits when he was
suits.
supposed to be Mike Ross's counselor when he went in.
That's what. Okay, I'm like, why don't I remember that? But all right, now yeah, I've watched Suits twice and don't remember that at all until you mention.
Yes. Give me
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what's up. Like I keep on touching a cord and it keeps on shutting everything off. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I've seen a few things of his, but it's like, I found out that the girl who played what's her name? Um um Myra, I think her name was. Steve Urkel's girlfriend.
oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they were in a relationship before. He was by her side when she passed away.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was like, yeah, so and Ozzy Osbourne, like I saw somebody made a list of a bunch of his 10 best songs. I know he did. Yeah, so I knew he did the song Crazy Train.
What's that?
Um I know the beat goes like
Oh, that's his song?
yeah, that's his song.
That's how he sounds? Wow.
Yeah, so like I said with Hogan, yeah, it's unfortunate because there's a lot of good with him. Because with Hogan, I can actually say because I've gone back because I'm a wrestling fan. Yeah, and no having to lie about it and talk about their no need to lie and say, "Oh, I only watch wrestling because I like the way they train." When they're not training in the ring, they're actually performing. But you know what? That's another thing for another day. But like he was the reason why wrestling became so popular in the 80s. But then when his star started to diminish and the 90s came around, he was a selfish asshole. Like the wrestlers wanted to unionize, and because he was a company man, he told Vince, and all that just got shut down. He didn't want to, what they call in the business, put anybody over. He wasn't going to job out to anybody. He wanted to be, if it didn't work for him, he wasn't going to do it.
Wait. You said he went to Vince. Vince owned WCW?
No. He Hogan started in the WWF, now WWE. When the
Oh.
WWF when the WWF wanted to unionize, he went to Vince, and Vince put lock and key on that, so that couldn't happen. Then he went to WCW. He had his career resurgence, but because he was one of the this ain't gonna work for me, brother type of folks. He hardly ever put anybody over. Even in the WWE, we've only came back. If you ever decide to waste your time, you watch him versus Shawn Michaels. I think it was SummerSlam, and you watch Shawn Michaels flip and flop all over the place for the weakest stuff. Is because Hogan they were supposed to wrestle 3 times. Hogan said he was only going to do it once, and he wanted to win. So Shawn acted the ass inside the ring to embarrass Hulk Hogan. It's like if it didn't work for him, like he brought good and bad. Like you said, NWO, great. Brought brought reality, yeah, brought reality television to life. The golden era of wrestling, mid to late 80s, responsible for that because he was a huge star. But it's so much bad that came with it too. And then the racial comments. Like the last time he was on WWE television, they booed him out of the building. That's the last
Mm.
image you see of Hogan. He was promoting a beer that he was putting out. I think it was All American beer or something, and they
Mm.
booed him out of the building. That's the last time you saw Hulk Hogan in a
Wow.
WWE arena.
The the saddest thing is, even Hulk Hogan, he was icon. Ozzy Osbourne in the heavy metal space, I guess, was an icon. But they were in their 70s, yo.
Yeah, it's like Hogan was 71. That's why I don't ever understand. Like Malcolm Jamal Warner is like,
54 years old.
and it's like, yo, it's like the circumstances are like, what the hell? Like, what? It's like it's like that. That was just surprising as hell to me. Yeah, it was like I don't know how what Ozzy like 78 or something.
I think he was 76.
It's like and I don't know if he was somebody that was like huge on like taking any drugs in his
Not,
life is the reason why he
yeah,
speaks the way that he does. Even Hogan, steroids. He had a neck. He just had neck surgery. He just had neck surgery, and it's like he had a yeah cardiac arrest.
yeah.
And it's like it's like I said, it's unfortunate, but sometimes it's like I think when people pass away, I think they need to stop saying when somebody's like Ozzy and Hogan's age that they died young.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know what young is in that context. Like, because yeah, I guess I think they said the average lifespan for American male was like 77 years old. So it's like they're right. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne is an American, but
Yeah,
they're right there.
in the threshold.
Yeah, while Malcolm Jamal Warner, he's you know
Yeah, he was
for
still going strong.
16 years. He had a podcast, so it's man, it's tough, man. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. I didn't want to end the show on that. I
Mm.
probably should have did it first, but I didn't write it down first. So I wrote it down second. So that's why I came out that way.
Yeah,
But
it's like rest in peace. But it's like, but the Hogan family need to understand as mad as you are about
yeah,
that situation, that is something that he put himself in. And
yeah,
that's going to be part of his
yeah.
legacy. Like, no matter how much you like it or don't, look how many people, like I said with Kobe, look how many people have tried to drag Kobe through the mud because of that allegation, because of what happened in Colorado. It's
And when R. Kelly dies, we're gonna see a whole bunch of that stuff. When P. Diddy dies, we're gonna see a whole bunch of that controversy. It's whatever,
like like
they're gone, so who cares?
yeah, it's going to be part of their legacy because everybody is not perfect. So what's it called? It's going to be part of their legacy whether folks like it or not.
Yeah. All right. So we got a couple of more football topics, and then we'll get to our top five. We're going to be dropping our top five quarterbacks entering the 2025 season. But the Bengals finally made something happen in the offseason. That has to be one of the six worst franchises in football. That owner is a cheapskate. Actually, I shouldn't say he's a cheapskate because he did spend a lot of money on the offense, but they have no idea what they're doing. So I was reading about that guy,
Lamar Stewart.
Shamar Stewart, and I was like, why was he a first round pick? All right. I just want to give you context. Let me give you
I Yeah, because
one.
I don't have that draft magazine in front of me right now for me to
Yeah,
read off what he
yeah,
did.
give me one. Because the dude is a freak athlete. Okay, hold on, people.
Yo, I wish I had the book on me.
I think I don't know if I spelled his name right.
It's Shemar.
Bro played 37 games. 37 games.
Mm-hmm.
He had 65 tackles, 4.5 sacks in 30. Bro, I would have put a stipulation on you too, dog.
Yo, chill. Like,
No, I'm so serious. I am so serious. Like, if I would have saw that and been like, all right, the only he had no season in which he had more than 1.5 sacks, and he's a pass rusher. Pass rusher, 1.5 sacks, first round. I'm putting stipulations on you too, and I'm gonna max. Matter of fact, if you don't perform, I'm gonna make sure you get in trouble so I don't pay you. I'm lining you
yo,
up like Houston did Deshaun Watson, supposed allegedly, according to the conspiracy theorists. Because, like, what? Bro had 1.5 sacks every year he played college football. And he came out early. Because he's a freak athlete. He's so athletic. You know what I'm saying? And so big and physical. But it
mm,
didn't imagine you came out early with the transfer portal the way it is,
mm-hmm.
and you came out early not doing nothing. His best year was, of course, his final year, in which he started all 12 games, and he recorded 31 tackles and 1.5 sacks as defensive end in college football. And
You know,
this dude earned all SEC. He was third team all SEC. When has that ever been a first round draft pick?
look, man.
So no, you
Look.
deserve all them stipulations, Stewart.
Yo, here's the thing.
Stu, you deserve all them stipulations.
Nah, look. I think he gets. I think when it came to the draft process, a lot of guys who played defensive line at Texas A&M, they were instead of they played at a they had they the coaching staff had them play at a weight that they're not comfortable in playing at. Like you had to be like really big and bulky in order for you to play. Like it's like what's it called? Jacksonville last year. A lot of the players because of the defensive coordinator strategy had to play above the weight that they're normally playing at. Like what's his name? Um, I think Josh Allen had to gain like they made him gain like 15, 20 pounds and moved a lot slower because I there was a lot of draft nicks that I was watching and and they were like Texas A&M have this habit of having the defensive linemen play bigger, play at a weight that devalues their athleticism. It may change. Yeah, they may change when
But
he
he
actually start
wasn't
playing.
that he didn't suffer his athletic. If that is the case, he was the most athletic player on the team. He still got no stats in a scheme that should have gave him stats.
I try to throw some bail. I try to throw some bail. It ain't working right now. Yeah, because that's what I was. This guy, I think his name was Broshimo, and he said something about how Texas A&M always have their players playing overweight.
So,
But I don't. But what's it called? I think he just got. I don't know if the stipulations got changed. I think he just got more. I think he's getting paid more money for his bonus up front. I'm not sure if any of the contract language actually changed, except for how he's getting his bonus money.
I don't care. He shouldn't have been first round pick. This is the Bengals being good. This is the Bengals bengally. They drafted horribly on defense every single year. They haven't been able to give Joe Burrow an offensive line or a defense to keep them competitive on a regular basis. They had a Super Bowl run. They had a Super Bowl run where they had probably the worst linebacker core in football.
And one of them didn't even want to play for the team anymore. It's like he requested
and then they
trade.
turned around and said, what else can we do to make this team better? Let's not make the defense better. Let's just not do that. You know, let's not make the offensive line better. We lost because Aaron Donald blew up our whole thing, but whatever. Let's not improve that. Yeah, and we've wasted seasons because our guy keeps getting hurt, but let's not do anything to assist him in keeping him upright.
Or how many times that we have to start fucking slow.
That might be a Joe Burrow thing. But
Joe Burrow need to get in midseason and that's the thing.
You need to start playing preseason game, dog.
Yeah, I think what. Do you think that may be a problem? Like the fact that they like a lot of times they only the starters only play like maybe the second preseason game and then don't even like they'll play like one or two drives the first.
Starters ain't playing like ever since Sean McVay didn't play preseason and then they won that Super Bowl and then they were so good when he first got there and then of course they end up winning the Super Bowl. Nobody plays starters in the preseason anymore.
Yeah, I know. What's it called? I know Jacksonville, they played their starters for half and that was it.
Like it used to be like you progressively did more. Like the first game is preseason. Now there's less preseason games, so that could be
because it'd be like
it used to be like you played a series,
and then you
played a quarter, then you played a half, then you played a full game. So yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. The Bengals are the worst just because they drafted him. And then they put weird language in this thing. He's like, bro, I just want what the guy last year got and everybody else in the league this year got. I don't think I should have that. And they're like, no, bro, we have to set you up if you fail. We have to.
Because he's getting paid more. He's getting paid more money bonus wise than the last few players that got drafted at the same position.
Yeah, so going from one horrible franchise in the Midwest to another one called the Chicago Bears. All right, so this isn't broken news yet. This is not broken news yet. But I feel like we're heading to that direction. I know we've spoken about it. I'm not 100% sure that we did on the podcast, but I'm pretty sure we did. We talked about Ben Johnson and what he would be as a head coach. Like, is he going to be successful? We didn't believe in his ability to lead men. And this dude, apparently, Caleb Williams has not had a good camp so far. In one game, and I think the last Friday, he benched the entire first team due to his frustration with them not executing,
Damn.
specifically in the red zone, in which Caleb Williams threw 2 interceptions. If that's how you acting, you're gonna lose the team by week 3. And everybody gave him all this praise and didn't want to give Dan Campbell any credit. And I do believe that the Lions are still primed to win their division, and the Bears are still primed to finish last. It's not broken news yet, but when there's rumors in week 6 because the Bears are 2-4, 1-5, I'm just gonna laugh at JG Gator 9, Jaguar Gator 9, because I don't know who he is. I've never seen anything from him. But I just remember Zero telling me about how this dude was obsessed with Ben Johnson and how people like us were wrong for saying we don't know how he's going to lead. Now, if he's right, I'm going to give him his credit. But I've never heard of something like this happening in training camp. Because
it's just the first week.
The first, like, you got to let your quarterback grow. He's a second-year player with a lot of fundamental flaws that you got to coach him out of.
This is the type of thing. Where it's like
it's giving me Josh McDaniel vibes.
Yep, because that was always the big thing. Like up until this off season, the one phrase that I've never heard was, is this guy going to be a leader of men? Or is he going to be a leader of men? A leader of men this, a leader of men that. It was like they thought Aaron Glenn could be one of those, but they weren't sure about Ben Johnson, because Ben Johnson, when he was offered a head coaching spot last year, he was like he'd much rather stay an offensive coordinator than become a head coach. Like, I've never seen anything like it. It was like, yeah, and what was it? All these excuses and rumors about what it is that he wanted to do and this, that, and the third. It's like he wanted the perfect situation, and he thought he had it. It's like you got a guy in Caleb Williams who you can mold into what it is that you want him to be. He got a target in Roma Dunze that can do his thing. Yeah, you got Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. It was like, because what's his name is still a free agent.
The man.
Yeah, you got a lot of you got a lot of weapons.
The offensive line, they bolstered it.
Yeah, so you got a whole lot. You have a whole lot going for you versus any other teams that were interested in you. Mm-hmm. And you probably thought this was going to be a walk in the park. Mm-hmm. And now you're seeing that there's a lot more to it than knowing how to call plays. Mm-hmm. And especially as an offensive coordinator, you've never had to have the responsibility of having to take on an entire team. You took on your side of the ball, but you never had, but it wasn't the entire team where you have to be responsible for every unit, for every player, every decision, because you didn't have to make any decisions when you were offensive coordinator. You didn't have to make the tough decisions. Now Now you have to see exactly what this is all about. Now you got to learn from this. You're learning this firsthand. You gotta. It's like it ain't. It's not going to be the same walk in the park, and you have to answer for all of this because you're the top guy.
You know, I'm not gonna act like I'm a guru at this sports thing because I get things wrong too.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember in this draft process, I said they are not that off season. They were talking about how he didn't want to go to Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and supposedly it was because they had a basketball guy coming in as a GM. And I was like, Washington got the second overall pick. If they're smart, they'll pick Jaden Daniels. He's, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the draft. Because now part of it is I was biased, heavily biased, because I don't trust USC quarterbacks. But the hero ball stuff that I saw that he was doing in college, I knew that was going to fly me in the fall.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like, he's going to struggle. And then the Bears did what the Bears do. They kept that horrible coach in Matt Eberflus and didn't get him the right coach. And they probably could, like, Ben Johnson could probably be like this year working a lot of that stuff out and not having the pressure of winning.
Mm-hmm.
But now he doesn't. Now he has to kind of be in win now mode, or he's going to get fired again. And then or he's going to get fired. I said again, like he got fired before. I don't know if he has or if he hasn't. But he turned down the city that was going to get the best quarterback in the draft
Mm-hmm.
to get the guy with the. To be honest, what's his name had like Caleb had the most potential. So to get the guy with the most potential, and now the dude's already pulling his hair out because he doesn't understand why this kid can't get it right, specifically on the mechanic side. And I just can't wait for the Bengals to fail and for the Bears to fail. And you know the funny thing is the Jets are going to struggle because they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think after this season, the Jets are going to be a playoff contending team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that in the future for the Bengals or the Bears. That's just me. So you heard it here first. Ben Johnson, don't get fired. All right.
Because this is the time for you to this is the time for you to see what it is that you have. You have until September to get this shit figured out.
It's training camp. Why you
It's
benching
the
the first
first week of training camp and you benching niggas. It was like you don't get your overly sensitive ass up. Like cut it out, yo.
We called it. We called it. And he's struggling already. We called it. All right, so we're about to wrap this up. So let's get to the top five.
All right.
Top five quarterbacks. We're gonna do this every week until the season starts. I think we got 6 weeks officially until the season starts. I don't. Is there 6 positions? Quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, corner, safety, D line or D line, linebacker. So I guess we'll probably do defensive back. We might do it as cores. Might do cores. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We start with the quarterbacks. Who cares?
Yeah.
So, um, You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I got it.
Let's go.
So my number one's Lamar.
You start number one. What? This dude never get the top fives right, man. Who does not? Who starts off with one?
This guy. So my number one's Lamar. Two is Josh
No
Allen.
suspense. All right.
Need
One, two, Josh
sus-
Allen.
you don't need suspense. You need the list. So, so three Mahomes, four Burrow, five Hurts.
All right. So I like it. I like it. I don't necessarily agree with it. The way I took this is, you know, like who I thought was gonna perform the best. And so my
Mm-hmm.
criteria was who I thought was going to be doing the most winning, or like not well helping their team win the most, who was going to put up numbers, um, and also who was going to lead their team. Um, who's going to do like who do I trust to lead their team when things are tight? So at number 5, I have Matthew Stafford.
Love it.
I know he lost Cooper, but if Puka can stay healthy, I think he was the better receiver for the last 2 years, regardless. Number 4, Joe Burrow. The reason why I don't have him as higher, because statistically he probably should be the top guy, but I don't trust him all the time. He's made some boneheaded plays to lose games last year, the last couple of years. And then he also probably has the best receiving core in football. So I think he has a lot of help when it comes to his receiving core, but then his offensive line is horrible. So, but it's just those boneheaded plays because he does get a little hero ballish sometimes.
Mm.
So it was more of my trust for him in the fourth quarter if he has the ball last. Number 3, Josh Allen. He was my MVP pick last season. Um, I don't have an MVP to pick this season right now, so I don't have a feel for it right now, but we'll see. Josh Allen is remarkable. He is a part of the good old boys club that Ben Roethlisberger, Brett Favre um, uh, type, but he can ball. He's a legitimate baller, and um, the only reason why I don't have him number 2 is because I just think that Lamar Jackson is better. Lamar Jackson being my number 2, he's the most dynamic athlete in football right now. Watching him is unbelievable. Watching him is like watching Vic on steroids. He's my favorite player to watch at the quarterback position right now, next to number 1, and that's Patrick Mahomes. I do believe they have another Super Bowl run in them, and then there's going to be a fall off. I think they're going to compete. I don't know if they're going to get there yet. I got to look at the schedule and stuff like that. But I think that this new offense that they're hoping to run, they had injuries to their receivers early, so they kind of went back to trying to run things through Kelsey. Kelsey got one foot in the grave, in the football grave, so to speak. So he's not the player he used to be. And it was a hard drop off too. Like it was overnight, it seemed. But it's similar to Tom Brady. Like, they're gonna get to the AFC championship minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. And also Patrick Mahomes, I think he went 11-0 in games under one possession. Or one possession games. 11-0 last season. because he finds ways to win. Now, some people say the refs help them. I don't really buy it, but of course, because where was the help during the Super Bowl? They desperately needed it. so yeah, I just trust him in one possession games. I think he has like the highest winning percentage in one possession games other than Tom Brady. So I believe they're going to have a lot of wins, probably the most or second most in the AFC. I trust him the most out of everybody with the game on the line. And I think that this year he's going to go back to putting up big numbers. And when I say big numbers, I'm not talking about 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards like he did years back. I'm talking about like I think we can see a good 30 plus 40 up around 40 touchdowns from him this season if everyone can stay healthy. Because it looks like they want to stretch the field again. Won't be Tyreek Hill stretch the field, but I don't know what's Andy Reid gets all this credit for his coaching. They need a running game. They need to
Yeah.
find a way to get a running game because you need to bring the safety down. You need to find a way to bring that safety down.
Yeah, Pacheco has been doing.
He's solid.
Yeah, but he's not somebody really
You're
in
not
a game
playing
plan against him
to keep him out the game. They just don't run the ball enough. It's not a real threat. Like you remember, like this is what I liked about Bill Belichick. You remember, like there was some teams you're like Tom Brady about to air it out on, and all of a sudden, randomly, whoever the running back is, like Corey Dillon would have like 146 yards on 29 carries. Like, what just happened? Like I thought this team had a bad pass defense. They're ranked 29th in pass defense. You just ran the ball down their throats. It's like, well, we saw something. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Let me know. I don't disagree with Zero's list. Of course the four of the four. The four horsemen of the four horsemen. The number 5 is where we change things, and it's just because of what Zero had said earlier. Is where I think that the offense. I don't think it would be good without Hurts, but I think it wouldn't be horrible without Hurts. While Matthew Stafford is the offense, so that's more my thing. And I don't necessarily trust him in the fourth quarter, but also Jaden Daniels, I don't know. He was excellent last season, and I'm talking like the list was like going into this season, so I didn't want to be like, oh, because this happened last season, this is gonna happen next season. Bro went 80% on fourth downs. That has to stop, right? Like that can't like that doesn't normally that's not normal to carry that into the next season. Not saying he's still not gonna be great on fourth down. 80%. I can't believe it. So, but of course, I will be doing the 25, the top 32 quarterbacks, listing them: emperor, president, citizens, peasants, and buns. Let's get to your party shots, man. What you got for us?
My parting shot is something pretty damn petty, but it's been bothering me for years. It's pronounced Pokemon, not Pokemon. There's a fucking accent over the E. Y'all niggas can read. I'm getting sick and
They
tired of y'all.
can't though.
I forgot. Say it how y'all want to say it because y'all dumb as shit anyway.
It said they say they call. I don't even know where Pokemon comes from. The anime never said Pokemon.
It was either Pokemon or Pokemon.
Yes.
Like no,
But
y'all.
but they'll order that Poke Bowl easy.
Oh,
Easy.
yeah.
Oh, can I get a Poke Bowl? Yeah, you say that easy. But for some reason, when you see Mon at the end, that becomes a long E sound for some. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're thinking. That it's not an accent mark; it's a long E.
But you watched the theme song. Y'all saying it's one of the greatest of all time, and how many times did they say Pokemon?
Yeah, top 5 dead or alive. Top 5 dead or alive.
It's like also, it's like it's like yo, it's been frustrating because I'm just sitting here and I got this pencil case, and I'm like, yo, I'm getting sick and tired of people saying Pokemon, yo. I'm just looking at the pencil case. I'm like, you bastards really need to learn how to say this shit.
Yeah.
But and I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it
No,
is.
it should. It should, and no explanation is needed.
Yeah, you sons of bitches.
Everybody who says Pokemon, I hate you. I wish nothing on you, nothing well on you, and dishonor on your
But that's my parting shots.
family. I really love Pokemon. At least the game. I haven't watched the anime probably 15 years. But I think Orange Island is when I stopped watching it. I think Orange Island. No. It was after that. I don't know.
When he lost Johto League, it was like, yo, they're never gonna win.
Bro, he didn't win for a long time, man.
Oh my goodness. Another Orange Island is the first one, and I don't mean anything.
Yeah, that wasn't a real thing. I think Alolan League he won, and then he won the world champion. So technically, he won like 2 tournaments. But anyways, my parting shot. Shoot, you threw me off. Shoot, you threw me off. I had a whole parting shot too.
Damn, my bad.
Nah, man, because that really bothers me. Bothers me too. It's always bothered me. Oh, my parting shot is Lando Sports Discussions. Coming back, divisional breakdowns. Lando's lists coming back. Coming back soon. I'll probably do the quarterbacks again, but give a more detailed breakdown of it. And then Lando's list, Lando Sports Discussions. And so we're going to be bringing down each division. That's going to be on the YouTube channel. So I don't think it's going to be in podcast form, but that's going to be on the YouTube channel. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. Continue to support us, please. So yeah, we're going to be putting that out, and let us know what you think. So thank y'all so much for watching or listening. This has been the podcast.